And as we can see, we have hit perfectly the 1-to-1 fib level here, taken from the A to the B to the C, which is of course a potential ABC here, finishing of course as an expanding flat, and probably we might of course dive deeper again toward the downside. It was supposed to have of course a correction for a 1-to-1 fib level without this news, but within this news right now, of course, we might reach of course almost the same price again. As expected, nothing will change because the market always come back to the same thing. Here we go. And you can see that the expanding flat might finish, of course, in the same area as it was expected for the zigzag before. Now, currently, why I'm in an expanding flat, you say, okay, G, but this is probably a wave 3, right? So it can be, of course, but, well, basically because you have a 1, 2 here, you have an impulse already toward the downside, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. You have a wave 2. A higher possibility here is still, of course, to move for lower for the gold. And that because, of course, I'm not really even convinced with these 1, 2s here in the beginning. Of course, I see also a lot of noises here, which is turn it a little bit corrective. Yeah, so in case you are here in kind of a 1, 2, you didn't reach the low for a wave 2, and it looks a little bit like kind of a triangle, then invalidated, and so on. So it's very complex, and we of course struggled 2 days ago with it, right? And we mentioned that it is very, very unlikely to be a bullish scenario here. So therefore, we gotta be careful in this zone. Now, your bullish scenario, of course, can be the wave 1, 2 here, truncated again, and you got another 1, 2, and another 1, 2, and then you are in a wave 3, of course, a 4 and a 5, 4 and a 5 continuation toward the upside. Now, if we are in case, of course, that we are still bullish here, and we're looking here for a wave 5 that it might unfold, can be very likely also in different scenario, which is of course an ending diagonal. What if we get an ending diagonal, since this is still looking like a 3 waves toward the upside? What if we get a wave 2? So we have, as you can see, several possibilities here, even before getting to this area. Now, the expanding flat is the worst case scenario, of course. Right, it's a worst case scenario where you might be very corrective, which is still corrective for a wave 4 in the yellow here, in case we're still corrective, but in case that the yellow wave 4 finished over there, therefore you might still be here in different possibilities first, which the first one can be, of course, several 1, 2s. I doubt it a little bit. The second one can be, of course, as bullish ending diagonal, and the third one can be, of course, kind of like a running flat, failing to take the low, meaning finishing 5 ways down, failing to take the low, and then moving towards the upside. One of these possibilities has to unfold in case you are bullish, but currently I don't see a really good strength, of course, for the gold. We can see we have a clear impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 after hitting the 1-to-1 fib level, and that's why I'm not really convinced here to be, of course, very impulsive, because it looks like a very clear 1-to-1 fib level zigzag, and also hitting perfectly the fib levels for wave B at the same time. Plus, another signal that you are impulsive, and you got a wave 2, 1, 2 probably, and we move towards the downside, unless it's gonna finish, of course, as a zigzag ABC. Therefore, to be watched, this one as a key level, guys, zigzag. 1-to-1 fib level, and if we take this fib level and we overshoot it, if the price goes down there and we overshoot it, okay, so that might mean, of course, confirmation for lower. Overshooting it meaning, of course, you want to move very, very low. Yep, so basically invalidation of bullish is, of course, by taking this price here, invalidation of bullish. Now, never forget that this is an impulse, and this is wave 2. Again, all the situations and all the evidence says here this might be, of course, a wave B expanding flat. But, you know, we walk with it step by step, guys. First, let's see if it is a wave 4 from here, and then moving toward the upside. So if we want to label this, what if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5? This one finished, sorry. 1, 2, 3, and a wave 4 and a 5. Okay, what if? So let's keep this in mind, and of course you might have another 1, 2 here, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5. So just to make sure that all scenarios are covered here, and we walk with it step by step, guys, before just simply calling a very massive bearish scenario. But very likely, again, very likely, just because of the evidences that we have here, the fib levels, the shape of it, the very choppy price action here, and so on. And of course, getting impulsive wave downward. Now to be tested, the wave 4 here. If we pass the 1-to-1 fib level, okay, then we have to consider, of course, here confirmation for lower, taking this price invalidation for bullish. You cannot expect, of course, any bullish impulse from that continuation. Therefore, you have to, of course, expect a wave 2 probably, and then 3, 4, and a 5. In case we fail this area, okay, this is the last thing that we might hit here is, of course, the wave C as an expanding flat. Okay, so that was it for the gold. If we are still above the 3,568, if the price still ranging above this, bullish. Okay, you might still be bullish, guys. Okay, you might still continue for 5. But if we break it and we overshoot it, therefore we are very, very corrective or bearish, probably here for a wave C. Okay, so that was it for the gold. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. And see you in the next one. Bye bye.